Shalom. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Kagudash, the ones to the Apostle James of Great Millstone, Salutation, Shalom, blessed the hopeful elect. Alright, I'm going to get right into it. Alright. November 3rd. Alright, it's going to be a very intense day in American history, really. You've never seen a presidential election so intense with so much hate, racism, all right, division, all right, that's about to come up November 3rd, all right, which is in 5 weeks from now. Okay, all hell's getting ready to break loose, man. All right, and best believe you might, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but you might have martial law being declared, in certain, because no matter which president wins, man, there's gonna be a civil war, man. All right. As a matter of fact, let me see. World Star Hip Hop. All right. I was checking this video out. All right. Let me see if this right here. It said Proud Boys member threatened to start a civil war if Biden wins. Okay, so you see, all right, the tension, the hate, man, the racism of these devils, man, of these Edomites, man. All right, and how much they hate you Israelites, man, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. Okay, the nation of Edom is truly the devil, man, that the Bible speaks of. Okay, and even amongst their own kind, they're divided. All right. You got some Edomites that hate Trump, and you got other Edomites that love Trump, man. All right, and the scriptures clearly say, if Satan be against Satan, how then will their kingdom stand? All right, all this division, all right, amongst their own kind, man. And that's confusion, which shows you Babylon's nothing but a land of confusion, man. Because if you were of the same people, you would all have the same mindset and agree to everything, man. Because you're the same race, man. Which shows you Edomites are not clear to rule, man. You can't rule. The earth is given unto your hands to rule, and you've destroyed it, and you can't rule, man. You're not fit to rule, and it shows it. All right? But let's get right into the article. It says, cities, states, and businesses brace for election unrest in U.S. Corporate America, city governments, and federal and local law enforcement across the country are making plans to deal with political instability, civil unrest, and violence around the upcoming presidential election. Concerns range from isolated violent incidents to a long stretch of mass protests, violent confrontations between extremists, and widespread property damage. If the outcome of the election remains unclear or is hotly contested for weeks or months, according to security consults, analysts of extremists, police officials, and local elected leaders who spoke with CNN, it keeps me up at night. Cincinnati Mayor John Cranley, who chairs the U.S. Conference of Mayors and Police Chiefs Task Force about the threat of violence, I'm also worried that there will be a bogus attempt to prevent the counting of all the ballots, and that also could lead to a variety of unrest in a variety of ways. In recent months, all right, let me stop right there. All right, a scripture that comes across, my mind, all right, when he said that, is the book of Job, chapter 18, verse 11. Terrors shall make him afraid on every side and shall drive him to his feet. Okay? These, all right, speaking on this particular mayor of Cincinnati, man. All right, John Cranley. All right, he says it keeps him up at night, man. He says that that he's worried. All right. All right, with the counting of the ballots. All right, we all know that, the mail-in ballots that, they're saying that that's a potential fraud. All right, people could mess with it. All right. All right, and that could also that could lead to a variety of unrest. All right, of riots, man, of civil unrest. Okay. And the article is going to continue. All right. And watch this, man. Watch what it says. It says, in recent months, federal law enforcement agencies led by the FBI have held discussions with sheriffs and local police who would be charged with keeping order in any protest that may surround disputes results. According to U.S. law enforcement, officials briefed on the matter. Among the concerns are armed extremists who may try to interfere with or halt vote counting done by local canvassing boards. Groups ranging from right-wing activists and white supremacists to Antifa and anarchists have been active in recent months amid the George Floyd protests. So you think what happened with George Floyd, that incident, all right, that's gonna be nothing compared to this upcoming presidential election, man. All right, because you have a lot of stone cold Edomites, all right, that love and so that love Trump, man. They love them some Trump. All right, they look at Trump like that's their god, man. They believe everything that comes out that guy's mouth. All right, which to show you they're nothing but a bunch of idiots, man. All right, because this guy has no clue what the fuck he's doing, man. He's a joke, man. All right, and not that I'm rooting for Biden. I ain't rooting for either of them, man. All right, fuck this place, man. Okay. But what I'm trying to say is that these Edomites out here, man, they love them some Trump, man. All right? And they're going to fight tooth and nail to keep that man in office. And in reality, all right, these people are so stupid, all right? You people, your votes don't matter. It don't count, man. Because at the end of the day, it's the elites, all right? The central bankers who control the presidential election, man. They choose who gets to be put in office, man, as the puppet. All right? You people don't have a say. Slaves don't have a say in anything, man. All right? When are you going to learn that? And that's common sense. It says, and people still believe that the president has no power, nothing, man. All right? He takes orders, all right, from the elites, all right, who really own this place. Okay? That'll be your Rothschilds, all right? Starting with them, all right? But anyways, it says, groups ranging from right wings, police department leaders in cities from Baltimore to Seattle and Portland told CNN they have prohibited officers from taking days off around the election, which shows you, man, a lot of these officers, man, they gonna end up committing suicide, man. The same thing that happened out there in Europe, all right, where you had I think it's going the Yellow Jackets, all right, all those officers, a lot of them committed suicide, man, because they couldn't take the stress anymore, all right. They just killed themselves, man, all right. They said, fuck this shit, man. I ain't dealing with this shit. Getting hit with fucking glass bottles, all right. People beating them up. They got tired of that shit, man. They couldn't take the stress anymore, man. A lot of them quit. A whole lot of them more committed suicide, man. But the media is not gonna tell you that, okay? And this is what the elites want, man. They want a total anarchy. They want the police to be taken out and the martial law troops, the Gurkha troops, to come in, man. All right? This is a perfect scenario for that to happen, man. Martial law, okay? Nothing is out of the ordinary, man. Everything, you put everything on the table, man. All right? It says, Baltimore Police Detective Chakia Fenio said in an email the department is taking extra precautions to include opening the incident command room, having detected personnel to respond to any issue, and closely monitoring any information leading up to the election that may create issues affecting public safety. Banks, Fortune 500 companies, and other businesses, all right, meanwhile, are working with security consultants to identify the steps they should take to minimize potential disruption to their businesses and protect their employees and assets. And that's exactly what's going to happen, man. You're going to have a lot of people rioting, breaking into these stores, man. All right, just for that, a lot of these people gonna do it just for the hell of it. All right, but then you're gonna have a lot of people really gonna get mad, man, because Trump might lose, all right, or Biden might win, or vice versa, all right. Either Trump win or Biden wins, man. Either way, you're gonna get a race war out here, man. You're gonna get civil war. You're gonna get civil unrest out here, man. All right, don't matter who win, man. And I was just thinking about that, man. My mind was complete. Salaki, I'm speaking too fast, but my mind was thinking about that. All right, all right. It's not just Trump, man. It's also Biden. All right, which now that I think of it, man, either way, with Trump, you had with Trump being in office, all right, you've already had riots, man. Okay, now imagine if he loses. Really, that's gonna intense even more, man. It's gonna be worse, all right, than this guy actually being in office, man. If they find out that he loses, man, they gonna go book wild out here, man. All right, they're gonna be breaking into stores, and that's gonna cause a lot more people to lose their jobs, man. Supermarkets getting raided in, man. All right. These niggas out here, they gonna destroy their own fucking community, and they ain't gonna have nothing to go back to, man. Because they're that stupid, they can't think right, man. Destroying their own community. All right, just like they did with George Floyd protests, which that was all bullshit, man. All right, a lot of you motherfuckers did that shit in vain just to fucking be niggas and steal, man. All right, you don't give a shit about you mean your own kind, man. It shows you how wicked you niggas are, man. All right. But anyways, it says. Oh, Slack. It says, the stakes are so high that this political chaos, are they calling it a chaos, could transcend into something worse, all right? Yeah, a civil war, into physical action in the event that we came up to a contested election, said Jonathan Wackrow, managing director of Teneo, a management consulting firm that does corporate risk assessments. Wackrow, who is also a senior law enforcement analyst, said his firm is working with two major U.S. financial institutions and three other Fortune 100 corporations on their preparations. All right, so they're preparing, man, because they know all hell's about to break loose. All right, going back to that scripture, all right, the book of Job, chapter 18, verse 11, terror shall make him afraid on every side and shall drive him to his feet, man. All right, so they coming out with all these type of security measures, all right. They're telling police, look, you're not allowed to take days off before the election, man. All right, because they know a lot of these officers ain't gonna be with that shit, man. They're gonna say, the hell with that, I'm taking off, man. And they're already told you can't. You signed up. This is what you signed up for. All right. A lot of y'all take oaths. All right. Now you gotta stick to your oath. Okay. It says that you will have a defining impact on businesses, operations, and potential financial implications as well. So we want to prepare them for the entire spectrum of threats and the consequences those threats may have on their organizations, on their people, processes, and technology, so they can sustain operations in the midst of chaos, he said. Wackrow declined to elaborate on the specific precautions his firm has advised clients to take. Control Risk and another risk security consultancy is working with several national retailers and tens of companies with national level footprints to prepare them for election related turmoil, said Jonathan Wood. The firm's lead analyst on the U.S. potential steps for them include securing locations to protect them in the event of riots, giving some employees election day off, and other measures, he said. A recent control risk analyst the firm shared with CNN sees limited likelihood of unrest on election day, but warns we anticipate that credible election results are likely to be delayed for days to weeks after election day. All right, which honestly, that could happen too, man. You know, this whole thing can be delayed, man. All right, but we'll see, man, how it goes. But it says during this period, partisan protests designed to put pressures on state political and election officials are likely, particularly in states where the election result is close or contested. Trump's false claims on mail-in voting do more to harm elections than threat of fraud, experts say. It added political activities, including militant activities, may mobilize to defend an apparent preliminary election results against purported rigging, triggering counter demonstrations that pose a localized threat of violent clashes. A contested election process, meanwhile, could extend this time frame, including in extremis until the inauguration itself. A New Jersey Office of Homeland Security and preparedness threat assessment similarly warns that a contested election that takes months to certify or winds up before the U.S. Supreme Court could trigger deadly protests. All right, meaning people can actually die, man. All right, and people, you know, if it do happen, people are gonna die, man. All right, violent confrontations and civil unrest and attacks by homegrown extremists. And while right-wing extremists and white supremacist groups are still seen as the top threat by U.S. officials, there is also evidence that left-wing anarchists are using social media to organize in the same manner, said Joel Finkelstein, director of the Network Contagion Research Institute, a nonprofit that tracks extreme across social media channels. Finkelstein said that the Institute research shows that anarchist collectives coordinated violent actions all on July 25th in Richmond, Virginia, Portland, and Eugene, Oregon, and Seattle, sharing tactics through social media such as throwing commercial-grade fireworks at police and using umbrellas to hide their identities. All right, and a lot of these people were paid to do this, man. All right. They're called the word escapes my mind right now. God. Well, if the word comes back, all right. But they're paid actors, man. All right. They get paid just to start shit, man. All right. And we see you, Esau. All right. There's nothing you can't hide no more, man. All right. The Most High is revealing you, man. Okay. You Edomites are being revealed for who you truly are and what's coming and what's about to happen. All right. At the end. All right. And this is why police don't wanna handle this shit, man. All right. This is why they're told you can't take any days off before the election. All right. Because you best believe you probably have police officers in their mind saying, I'm going to take that day off, man. I'm going to probably take that whole week off. All right. They already told they can't take any days off. You know, and they're going to have to deal with this, man. All right. Fireworks being thrown at them. All right. Might get shot. It says, and he expressed concerns that extremists see election turmoil as offering an opportunity for further action. He worries that at least to some extent, it's not going to matter who wins our election on November 3rd. And it may not even matter how clearly they win. Yeah, because at the end, you know, what they're afraid of, you know, is the Civil War, man. All right. What might take it don't really matter because, like I said, you know, if Trump wins or Biden wins, guess what? You're gonna get riots from both sides, man. All right. Many of those tracking the potential security threats say red flags abound. For example, some experts interviewed by CNN pointed to increased online chatter among extremists about the prospects of armed and bloody confrontations on election day. And this is what President Trump brings, man. You see, man? This is why this guy's a perfect devil, man. All right? And even Biden, too, man. All right, but Trump has that spice to him, man. He's a special kind of devil. But it says, and President Donald Trump told the far-right group Proud Boys to stand back and stand by during the September 29 presidential debate, and then segued to saying somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left because this is not a right-wing problem. Members of the Proud Boys immediately celebrated online, updating their logo to feature the president standby comments and touting Trump comments as a signal of support. You see, man, these are these stone cold Edomites, man, that really love them some Trump, man. They really believe all the bullshit that comes out this guy's mouth, man. All right? That's that hate that they have towards you Israelites, man. All right? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. These Edomites, these white people really hate you, man. All right? But it says authorities have also noticed the unprecedented consumer demands for guns and ammunition. Americans have bought a record $13.8 billion in firearms through August of this year, according to the National Shooting Sports Foundation, which tracks retail sales. Ammunition sales through June have more than doubled from a year ago. This is the time we coming in, man. All right? And then that's not going to be all used in one day, man, on that election, man. That's going to be used when all hell break loose, man. When the scriptures talk about man shall invade other men, other men's homes, all right, for the lack of bread, okay? Because there's a famine of food coming, man. All right? It says, the common calibers are very difficult to find. People are snapping them up, Olivia said. Historically, he said, firearm sales rise during presidential election years, particularly if buyers worry that a change in administration may lead to new relegations. And that brings me to an article I just read a couple minutes ago. Ted Cruz, all right, he warns about, freedom of religion, speech, and the Second Amendment being taken away. It said they're one vote away from that being taken away. All right. So really, in this presidential election, this really counts, man. All right, because if that happens, man, let's say if Trump loses, I mean, I gotta go back to the article, but they said, they're one vote away, man, from changing that, man, from taking people's rights away, freedom of speech, and the Second Amendment, man. All right? And a lot of people are not gonna have that shit, man. So all hell's getting ready to break loose, man. You smell it in the air, okay? It says several experts interviewed by CNN were concerned that the president increases the risk of chaos through his consistent attacks on the validity of the election. Trump suggests that his supporters go into the polls on election day and watch very carefully, was widely seen as in effect calling for voter intimidation. In response, Nevada Attorney General Aaron Ford warned Wednesday on Twitter that voter intimidation is legal in Nevada. Believe me when I say it. You do it and you will be prosecuted. 11 Democratic governors issued a statement Wednesday calling for a peaceful transfer of power. There is no peace. They shall seek peace and there shall not be none. All right? Calling for a peaceful transfer of power. Their statement, which didn't mention Trump by name, said there is absolutely no excuse for promoting the intimidation of harassment of voters. Which all this voting shit is bullshit, all right? That's an illusion. They give you sheep illusion, all right? Because like I said before, the elites control who's in the presidential office, man, all right? They choose who they want to put in there, not you people. Slaves don't have a say in anything. Remember, you Americans are nothing but slaves to the government, okay? But it says, meanwhile, in Virginia, Attorney General Mark Herring issued an advisory opinion September 24th warning that it's a federal and state crime to intimidate or harass a voter, and that carrying or possessing firearms nearing polling locations is illegal. He also said that it is a criminal offense for private individuals to usurp the role of actual law enforcement, and it is accordingly unlawful to appear at the polls attempting to exercise roles that rightfully belong to law enforcement. Nothing that prohibition can apply 2. A group of private militia members coming as a unit, heavily armed with assault-style weapons, dressed in fatigues and other military accessories, and acting in coordinated fashion. Slovakia. This article is quite long. It says other law enforcement officials, analysts, and former Homeland Security officials said they are also troubled by Trump's strategy. Charlottesville Police Department Chief Rachel Brackney said via email that they've been maintaining a high level of preparedness, working with local and state partners. The necessity to remain ready has been fueled by the continuous rhetoric peddled by the current administration, who has courted the support of white supremacist organizations and armed militia through their reckless endorsements, misinformation, race baiting, and fear mongering. Brackney said, I'm almost done. We might as well just finish it. It says Miles Taylor, the former chief of staff of DHS and now a CNN contributor, described the pattern at weekly White House briefings of discounting domestic right-wing extremist threats. Everything from the white supremacist movements to QAnon networks were ignored by the White House and dismissed, Taylor said, because they were seen as bases of support for the president. Elizabeth Newman, former Assistant Secretary of Counterterrorism and Threat Prevention at Homeland Security, said she's concerned that if he really digs in and cannot accept defeat, that things will be tied up in court and that he will have an increasingly aggressive right-wing group of folks trying to take matters into their own hands. The president is supposed to call for calm, but he's doing the opposite. He's stoking confrontation. In Cincinnati, Cranley says that though there is no actionable intelligence of specific threats in his city, he still worries. This will be, I guess, my 7th election cycle as mayor, and I've never had to talk to the police chief about election security, ever. And now we talk about it weekly. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, and that's exactly what's going on all around the world and in this country. All right. One last scripture that I want to get out. The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All right. There is going to be a race war out here, man. All right. All right. Uproars of the people. All right. Kingdom against kingdom. All right. All hell is getting ready to break loose. And this is the signs that Yahweh Shai, our Lord, told us about, man. All right. And you people out there that think that everything's going to go back to normal, nothing is going back to normal. All right. Nothing. The last time you saw normal was in March. That's the last time you ever see that. Things are about to, the whole ball game is about to change, man. Okay. With that, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh by Shem Yahshai, by Hashem Kakudash. The honors to the Apostle GMS of the Great Millstone. Salutations, shalom, and blessings to the hopeful elect out there that are scattered. Lord willing, you wake up. With that, shalom.